And so to be able to, 85 years later, be the first Disney live action version of that is so incredible. I grew up on Disney films on the VHS tape. I was terrified of the original cartoon when I was a kid. Just like getting to work through the terrifying trauma that I had from watching the original cartoon.
A magical revival of a classic fairy tale has spiraled into a storm of controversy, placing Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler, and Disney at its turbulent center. Gal Gadot, embodying the evil queen, is reportedly discontented with Disney's handling of the project and with co-star Rachel Zegler, whose divisive comments and on-set behavior have incited significant backlash. In response, Disney appears to be distancing itself from Zegler, reducing her presence in key promotional events. Let's delve into the unfolding drama, the ensuing fallout, and explore why Snow White has become Disney's latest debacle.
Of a classic fairy tale has turned into a storm of controversy, and at the center of it all are Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler, and Disney itself. Gal Gadot, the star power behind the evil queen, isn't hiding her frustration.
The controversy surrounding Disney's live-action Snow White remake has become emblematic of the company's ongoing identity crisis in an era shaped by cultural and political pressures. Once a symbol of timeless storytelling, Disney now finds itself in a precarious position, grappling with the challenge of balancing modern values with its nostalgic legacy. At the center of this storm is Snow White itself, along with the actors Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, and Disney's own missteps. Rachel Zegler at the eye of the storm. Rachel Zegler, cast as the titular character, has faced intense backlash for her controversial remarks about the film and its original animated classic. Her comments calling Prince Charming a stalker and describing the 1937 animated Snow White as outdated, alienated Disney's traditional fan base. These statements, which seem to mock the very nostalgia that Disney relies on to market its remakes, ignited a firestorm of criticism. Fans took to social media in droves, expressing reactions ranging from disbelief to outright anger. For many, Ziegler's remarks were tone-deaf, especially given her prominent role as the iconic princess. Ziegler's on-set behavior has also come under scrutiny, with insiders alleging unprofessionalism. This has reportedly further strained relations between the actress and Disney. As a result, Zegler has been conspicuously absent from key promotional events, fueling speculation that Disney is distancing itself from her in an effort to salvage the film's release strategy.
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my God. Well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker and
Gal Gadot's frustration. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, has found herself caught in the crossfire. Reports suggest Gadot is privately upset not only with Ziegler, but also with Disney's overall handling of the Snow White project. Insiders claim Gadot had hoped this role would allow her to showcase her versatility as an actress, taking her beyond her established persona as Wonder Woman. However, the controversies surrounding Ziegler have overshadowed her performance, leaving Gadot frustrated and disillusioned. For Gadot, Snow White represented an opportunity to reinvent herself and prove her range. Instead, the film has become mired in backlash and negative press, threatening to diminish the impact of her performance as the evil queen. Disney's struggles, an identity crisis. Disney itself is not immune to criticism. Once celebrated for its ability to unite audiences across generations, the company is now accused of alienating its core fan base. The decision to replace the iconic Seven Dwarfs with a group of magical creatures drew widespread ridicule. Critics argue that Disney's attempts to modernize its classic tales often feel superficial, prioritizing box-ticking over meaningful storytelling. The Snow White drama is just one chapter in a broader narrative of Disney's decline. Many attribute this decline to what has been dubbed the company's woke culture and leadership missteps under former CEO Bob Chapek. Chapek's tenure was marked by controversial decisions, including his clumsy handling of Florida's Don't Say Gay bill in 2022. Initially opting to remain silent, Chapek later condemned the bill, sparking a highly publicized feud with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. This feud painted Disney as politically biased and ineffectual, further tarnishing its reputation. Box office flops and leadership challenges. Under Chapek, Disney also embraced more overt diversity and representation in its films. While these intentions were commendable, the execution often felt heavy-handed to audiences. Movies like Lightyear and Strange World flopped at the box office, not merely due to their narratives, but because viewers felt the messaging overshadowed the storytelling. A similar pattern seems to be emerging with Snow White. When Bob Iger returned as CEO in late 2022, he inherited a company grappling with multiple crises. Disney Plus, the company's flagship streaming service, was hemorrhaging money despite massive investments. High-budget projects like Secret Invasion and The Acolyte failed to resonate with audiences, leaving the company with a string of costly failures. Meanwhile, Disney's film division continued to struggle, with recent box office flops, including The Marvels and Haunted Mansion. Can Disney recover? To his credit, Iger has made efforts to steer the company back on course. Cost-cutting measures, strategic release adjustments, and a renewed focus on profitability have started to show results. Recent successes like The Little Mermaid, 2023, and the anticipated Moana 2, 2024, suggest Disney may be regaining its footing. However, the question remains, can Disney recover its magic without alienating its audience? The company's attempts to balance progressive storytelling with universal appeal have left it stuck in the middle, pleasing no one. Conservative critics accuse Disney of pushing a left-wing agenda, while progressive fans argue the studio isn't going far enough. The Snow White controversy encapsulates this dilemma. For many fans, Zegler's comments and Disney's reimagining of the classic fairy tale feel like a betrayal of the company's legacy. Simultaneously, critics argue Disney's efforts to modernize its stories lack depth, focusing on surface-level changes rather than crafting engaging narratives. A crossroads for Disney. For Iger, the challenge is clear. Disney must create content that resonates with audiences without becoming entangled in culture wars. As Iger himself has said, audiences go to the movies to be entertained, not to receive a political message. Achieving this balance is easier said than done, especially with Snow White already mired in controversy and the lingering fallout from Chapek's era. As Disney navigates this turbulent period, it faces a crucial question. Can it honor its legacy while evolving to meet the demands of a modern audience? The answer will shape the future of the entertainment giant, determining whether it can once again capture the hearts of viewers worldwide or continue to struggle in an increasingly polarized cultural landscape.
She looking like I should have just ate that apple, bitch.
To be a Disney princess. But at what cost?
The production of Disney's live-action Snow White remake has spiraled into one of the company's most controversial endeavors, plagued by behind-the-scenes tensions, public missteps, and widespread backlash. At the heart of this turmoil lies the escalating feud between the film's lead actresses, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. Their differences have snowballed into a public relations nightmare, casting a long shadow over the project well before its anticipated 2025 release. A clash of perspectives. Zegler versus Gadot. The reported animosity between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler began during the film's production, but reached new heights as their contrasting political views clashed in the public eye. Gadot, an Israeli actress and vocal supporter of her nation, found herself at odds with Zegler, who has expressed pro-Palestinian sentiments on social media. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict became a focal point of their tension, spilling over into public discourse. Zegler, voicing her support for Gaza relief efforts, posted a tweet with the hashtag #FreePalestine, which many interpreted as a direct challenge to Gadot. The controversy deepened when Gadot, whose family's ties to the Israeli military have long made her a polarizing figure, responded indirectly. She shared an Instagram story featuring a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. "Only love can drive out hate," accompanied by her message, "Only love can save the world." This was widely seen as a rebuttal to Zegler's stance. Adding fuel to the fire, Gadot briefly liked and shared a tweet criticizing Zegler for politicizing the conflict to appear relatable to younger audiences. While neither actress has addressed the feud directly, their social media posts leave little doubt about their strained relationship. Behind-the-scenes turmoil. The tension isn't limited to politics. Reports suggest Gadot's dissatisfaction extends to her role as the evil queen. Promised several pivotal scenes to showcase her character's transformation and a climactic confrontation with Snow White, Gadot was reportedly furious to discover many of these moments had been heavily edited or cut entirely during post-production. Insiders claim Gadot confronted Disney executives in private meetings, expressing her frustration over being sidelined in favor of Zegler. Although the executives attempted to reassure her by emphasizing her presence in promotional material, Gadot felt undermined. Some speculate Disney's decision to reduce her screen time was a strategic move to avoid exacerbating the political controversy. This dissatisfaction led Gadot to distance herself from the project entirely. She has reportedly declined to participate in joint press events or interviews with Zegler, citing both public backlash and discomfort with the project's direction. Adding to the tension, some fans argue that Gadot was miscast as the evil queen, believing she would have been a better fit for the role of Snow White, a sentiment that has only fueled further criticism of Disney's casting choices. A record-breaking dislike ratio. As if internal discord wasn't enough, Disney's promotion of Snow White has faced an overwhelming negative response from fans. The teaser trailer for the live-action remake has set an unenviable record on YouTube, with a staggering 727,000 dislikes compared to just 28,000 likes, a shocking 96.3% dislike ratio. This makes it one of the most disliked trailers in YouTube history, surpassing the infamy of the Sadak, 2 trailers' 94.86% dislike ratio. Fans of the original 1937 animated classic have criticized the remake's changes, from replacing the iconic Seven Dwarfs with magical creatures to Zegler's controversial comments about the story's themes. Many see these changes as stripping away the timeless charm of the original in favor of forced modernization. The backlash highlights a growing divide between Disney's modern creative direction and its traditional fan base. The bigger picture. The Snow White controversy underscores broader challenges facing Disney. While the company continues to embrace inclusivity and diversity in its storytelling, critics argue that its execution often feels superficial, overshadowing the essence of its classic tales. The public fallout between Zegler and Gadot adds another layer of complexity to the situation, threatening to overshadow the film itself. As Disney grapples with these challenges, the fate of Snow White hangs in the balance. With fans already expressing deep disappointment and internal conflicts making headlines, the company faces an uphill battle to salvage its reputation and the film's success.
Reportedly began during the film's production, but reached new heights as their political views clashed publicly. Gadot, an Israeli actress and outspoken supporter of her country, found herself at odds with Zegler, who has voiced pro-Palestinian sentiments on social media.
The controversy surrounding Disney's live-action Snow White remake has reached unprecedented levels, with the film's teaser trailer achieving one of the highest dislike ratios in YouTube history. Hollywood insider WDW Pro analyzed this record-setting ratio, noting that while it doesn't officially fall within YouTube's top 40 most disliked videos due to the platform's policy of hiding dislike counts, the scale of the backlash remains undeniable. Pro speculated that this phenomenon could create a rubbernecking effect, drawing curious audiences to theaters just to witness the extent of the perceived disaster. However, despite this potential interest, the film seems headed for financial losses, exacerbated by costly reshoots and unrelenting negative press. Rachel Zegler, the lightning rod of controversy. Much of the backlash can be traced to Rachel Zegler, whose controversial behavior and public statements have alienated longtime Disney fans. Zegler's criticism of the original Snow White animated film, labeling Prince Charming as a stalker and calling the classic sexist, enraged traditional audiences. Her comments, coupled with dismissive remarks about the film's romantic elements, sparked accusations of disrespecting the legacy of Disney's beloved animated classics. Zegler's divisive approach to Snow White as a boss girl with no need for a prince has drawn mixed reactions. While some praised this modern feminist retelling, others viewed it as a betrayal of the original story's charm and timeless appeal. Adding fuel to the fire, Zegler's outspoken political stances and recent public meltdowns, including an outburst following the 2024 U.S. presidential election, further tarnished her reputation. Many fans see her unfiltered opinions as an attack on the cherished legacy of Disney's animated classics. The criticism extends beyond her portrayal of Snow White. Zegler's Colombian-American heritage has sparked debates about whether she fits the description of the character, who is traditionally depicted as having skin as white as snow. This casting choice has polarized audiences, with some applauding Disney's commitment to diversity and others lamenting what they perceive as a disregard for the source material. Gal Gadot, praised yet undervalued. While Rachel Zegler has drawn most of the ire, Gal Gadot's portrayal of the evil queen has been widely praised for its elegance and menace. However, even Gadot's role has not been immune to controversy. Reports suggest that Disney's internal politics may have led to the sidelining of her character. Key scenes, including a transformative moment and a climactic confrontation with Snow White, were reportedly cut during post-production, leaving fans and critics questioning the studio's decision-making. Insiders claim that Gadot was deeply frustrated by these edits, feeling that her role was underutilized. This frustration was compounded by ongoing tensions with Zegler. Some fans and industry experts have even suggested that the roles should have been reversed, with Gadot playing Snow White and Zegler cast as the evil queen. This speculation stems from their respective reputations and on-screen personas, with many believing Gadot's commanding presence would have been a better fit for the titular role. Behind-the-scenes tensions. Reports of on-set tension between Zegler and Gadot have plagued the production from its early days. Insiders claim that the two actresses rarely interacted outside of their scenes, and that their relationship was strictly professional at best. Crew members have hinted at instances where their differing viewpoints caused friction during rehearsals and promotional shoots. This strained dynamic has further fueled the narrative of a divided production. Disney's struggles to manage the fallout have only intensified. Gadot has reportedly refused to participate in joint press events or interviews with Zegler, citing both the public backlash and her discomfort with the project's direction. Meanwhile, Zegler's controversial statements and behavior have made it increasingly difficult for the studio to craft a cohesive marketing strategy. A record-setting backlash. The film's teaser trailer has become a symbol of the controversy, earning a staggering 727,000 dislikes compared to just 28,000 likes. a record-breaking 96.3% dislike ratio. This negative reception has eclipsed even infamous trailers like Sadak 2, which held a 94.86% dislike ratio. Fans of the original Snow White have expressed their frustration with the remake's perceived disregard for the story's legacy, from the replacement of the Seven Dwarfs with magical creatures to Zegler's dismissive comments about the original narrative. Disney's uphill battle. Faced with mounting backlash, Disney is under immense pressure to salvage the film's reputation. Executives are reportedly scrambling to reshape the narrative, with some speculating that the studio may downplay Zegler's involvement in future promotional materials. However, the challenges extend beyond this single project. The Snow White remake has become emblematic of Disney's broader struggles to balance progressive storytelling with the nostalgic elements that audiences hold dear. The uncertain future of Snow White. As the controversy continues to swirl, the future of Disney's live-action Snow White remake remains uncertain. While Gal Gadot's performance has offered a glimmer of hope, the overwhelming negative reception, coupled with internal tensions and public backlash, casts a shadow over the film's release. Whether Disney can turn the tide remains to be seen. But for now, Snow White stands as a cautionary tale of the challenges of reimagining beloved classics in a rapidly changing cultural landscape.
That is correct. So yes, I'm going to play the evil queen. It was the first time I had to kind of audition for a project in a while. They needed to make sure I can sing because this is a musical. So for a month I was working on the song, and then I auditioned and we filmed the song and I got the part.
Given the current climate, expectations for the box office performance of Disney's live-action Snow White remake are strikingly low. Fans remain deeply skeptical about the studio's ability to recapture the magic of the animated classic, while navigating the myriad political and social controversies surrounding its cast and production. For many, Disney's increasing focus on progressive messaging appears to have overshadowed its commitment to storytelling, leaving audiences disillusioned with the final product. Backlash among audiences and cast tensions. The Snow White remake has not only ignited widespread backlash among fans, but has also caused significant tension between its leading stars, Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. Gadot, known for her poised and diplomatic public persona, has reportedly made it clear that her working relationship with Zegler is over. The ongoing feud, fueled by Zegler's controversial statements and outspoken stance on various social and political issues, has driven Gadot to refuse any future partnerships with her co-star. Gal Gadot's frustration with Zegler's controversial statements. Gadot's frustration has reportedly reached a tipping point due to Zegler's continued negative commentary, particularly her remarks about the original Snow White film and the creative direction of the remake. Zegler's public dismissal of the original movie's charm and her criticism of Prince Charming as a stalker have alienated traditional Disney fans, amplifying the backlash against the remake. This constant negativity surrounding Zegler's statements has not only damaged the film's reputation, but also placed Gadot in a difficult position. Her association with the project has tied her to the ongoing controversies, leading her to reconsider her involvement in future films aligned with what she perceives as Disney's woke agenda. A growing divide in Hollywood. The fallout from Snow White highlights a growing divide in Hollywood between stars who fully embrace progressive narratives and those increasingly cautious about alienating their fan base. Gadot, who has consistently maintained a more measured and diplomatic approach in her public statements, appears to be distancing herself from what critics have dubbed the woke train that has defined so many Disney remakes. This shift could mark a turning point for Gadot as she moves away from projects steeped in divisive controversies. Insiders suggest that Gadot's likely decision to sever ties with Zegler signals her intent to protect her reputation and prioritize projects that resonate more positively with audiences. The cost of alienating audiences. Despite the Snow White remake's attempts to reshape the iconic fairy tale for modern sensibilities, it has struggled to strike a balance between innovation and nostalgia. The controversy surrounding Zegler's outspoken comments and Gadot's frustration with the film's direction underscores the challenges Disney faces in adapting its beloved classics for contemporary audiences. Fans argue that the studio's efforts to modernize its stories often feel forced, resulting in a final product that lacks the timeless charm of the originals. As the backlash against Snow White continues to grow, many believe the project serves as a cautionary tale for the entertainment industry about the risks of prioritizing messaging over compelling storytelling. Gal Gadot's future, a clearer path forward. For Gadot, the fallout from Snow White offers an opportunity to redefine her career trajectory. By distancing herself from the controversies that have plagued the project, she may signal a deliberate shift away from divisive narratives. This decision could pave the way for her to focus on roles that align more closely with her values and appeal to a broader audience. As Disney grapples with the repercussions of its creative choices, the studio's ability to recover from the Snow White controversy remains uncertain. For now, the film's tumultuous journey serves as a stark reminder of the challenges of reimagining beloved classics in an era of heightened cultural and political scrutiny.